Hello friends, in this lesson I am going to discuss how to set up your development environment for Python Numpy. Before you dive into Numpy programming, you should have Python installed on your machine. Visit python.org and select downloads. It will take you to the all available download options available for you. If you are using Windows, Linux or Mac OS, you can select one of these links and then proceed. Because I selected Windows link, I'm taken to the Windows download options for Python. Depending upon different versions of Python, we can select one of these installable options. If you are using Windows 32-bit machine, then you have these three options available for you. I mistakenly selected one of these link. Now if you are using 64-bit machine, then you can select one of these links. I would recommend you to download 64-bit installer for your machine if you are using 64-bit machine and 32-bit executable installer if you are using 32-bit machine. Once you downloaded your respective installer, then proceed with installation process. The installation process is really simple. There is nothing fancy in the installation process. Once you are done with the installation of Python, you need to have some sort of IDE on your machine so that you can write your code on that particular IDE and execute that code to see the result. There are plenty of IDEs available for you. In order to write down your code, I would recommend you to download Jupyter Notebook in the beginning. This is because Jupyter Notebook is an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, and explanatory text. So this is one of the best options for beginners to download it and start working on Jupyter Notebook to run your Python code more interactively. In order to download Jupyter Notebook, the best option is to visit continuum.io and select download Anaconda, and it will take you to the download page for Anaconda. Depending upon different operating systems on your machine, you can select one of these installable options. If you are using Windows, then you can choose one of these two options. For Mac OS, you have again these two options available for you, and same is the case with Linux. I'm on Windows and I'm using 3.5 version, then I chose to download 64-bit installer. If you are using Python 2.7 version, then you can download either 64-bit or 32-bit installer depending upon your machine type. Nowadays most of the machines are 64-bit, so you can download 64-bit installer and proceed with the installation process. Once you are done with the installation process of Python as well as Anaconda, then you need to test whether they are working on your computer or not. Select command prompt and write Python. It will show you the Python version which is installed on your machine if Python is correctly installed. And this is the prompt for Python, wherein you can write your code like this. Fine. So it means that Python is correctly installed on our machine. Now the next thing is to check whether Anaconda is correctly installed or not. So for that purpose, we are going to select Anaconda Prompt, and over here we will write Jupyter Notebook. It's going to take some time. Yes, now we will write Jupyter Notebook. It will take some time and it will open Jupyter Notebook in your web browser. The default browser will open and will show you the Jupyter environment. Over here you can select Python Conda root, and this is the interactive environment of Jupyter Notebook. Now let's check whether it is working perfectly fine. So once you write your code, you need to press shift and then enter. So it is working perfectly fine. The next thing is to download NumPy. So to download NumPy, you need to write pip install NumPy, and it will start downloading NumPy on your machine. On my machine, NumPy is already installed, so it says that requirement already satisfied. This means NumPy is already installed on my machine. In your case, if it is not installed, it will be installed, then you will see the installation steps, or it will be upgraded to the current available version. Now let's test whether it is correctly installed or not. So I will import NumPy and press shift and enter. So it means NumPy is correctly installed on my machine.